So to build EthTools.com and to power a lot of the functionality um, behind the scenes, we needed to build a blockchain explorer. So I'm just briefly going to show you the features of that explorer so that you can use it as you please. So I'm currently on the chain overview page, which you can access by clicking on the chain drop down and selecting overview. And this simply details some important information about the chain, the number of blocks, number of transactions, and the normal number of internal steps. If you don't know what an internal step is, it is the steps processed by the Ethereum virtual machine when a transaction is executed on the blockchain. So each transaction is made up of a varying number of internal steps. If you scroll down, you can see the most recent blocks that have been mined. You can see the number of transactions, which you can click and link to. And as you may have just noticed there, it is automatically updated with the most recent blocks as they are mined. If you continue to scroll down, you can see the most recent transactions. Again, you can click on the hash to see details about it. You can click on the block number to see details about that block, and you can view those internal steps. Now, at this point, you've probably noticed that the block numbers are quite low, and that is because we are working with the Ropsten test network for this tutorial. But the same information is provided if you are using the mainnet version of the website. So next, I am going to show you the blocks page, which simply provides details about the most recent blocks. It just shows you more of those blocks, allows you to scroll through different pages. Even on the Ropsten test network, there's 29,000 pages of blocks. Yeah, you can obviously click on the same information. Again, this page is automatically updated as new blocks are mined. Next, we'll have a look at transactions, which is fairly similar. It details the most recently mined transactions. It shows you details of those transactions, and you can click on the various aspects to drill down. So let's go ahead and do that. We will click on transaction hash, and we'll have a look at what you can find out about an individual transaction. Here we can see that transaction. We can see that it executed correctly. If for whatever reason the smart contract, for example, that you were calling through an exception, then this would show the error that occurred. It links to the block it was mined in and details who the transaction was sent from and who it was to. And it also provides information about the data that was sent with that transaction. If we have information about it, we will show you the function name that was called and the contract that was called. But obviously that is only appropriate in certain situations. We can click on a specific block, and once that loads, it details information about that block, again linking to other bits of useful information. Again, it links back to the transactions, so we will click on that to go back and demonstrate this further. So here are the transactions in that individual block, and we can see a link to internal steps. We can click on that, and we will be presented with details of the internal steps executed by that transaction. There's trace, which allows you to see at what stage of the transaction these steps were executed, but in this case there's one step, so the trace is fairly simple. You may have noticed when I clicked on the chain navigation there is a contract section, but I will go ahead and explain that in a different video. Finally, just as a matter of interest, if you want to look up a particular address, for example this one, you can always type it into the search box at the top of the screen, and it will take you to the page of details about that address. The same applies for block numbers, ENS domain names, contract addresses. Just type them into the search box and it will take you to the appropriate page.